Every day I get several messages from Muslims saying something like this: David, you talk about Muhammad in front of your books because you're too scared to say these things in front of Zakir Naik. To you Muslims who think that Christian debaters are scared of Zakir Naik, I'd just like to ask, what color is the sky in your world? Because here on Planet Reality, Zakir Naik is a joke. Zakir Naik is a joke, and I'm not saying that because I disagree with him. I'm saying it because he's a complete joke. Let me give you 3 quick reasons. First, Zakir Naik portrays himself as a champion debater, but he's never faced one actual Christian debater in his entire career. Compare Naik with someone like Shabir Ali. Shabir Ali has debated William Lane Craig multiple times. He's debated James White multiple times. He's debated Jay Smith multiple times. He's debated Mike Licona multiple times. He's debated Tony Costa multiple times. He's debated me multiple times. He's debated Sam Shamoun and Samuel Green and Jonathan McClatchy and Nabil Qureshi. Shabir Ali obviously isn't scared to face experienced Christian debaters. Look up Zakir Naik's debates and you'll find that he's debated a handful of people you've never heard of. The only person Zakir Naik has ever debated that I've even heard of was William Campbell. And William Campbell wasn't a debater, he was a writer. Naik knew he wasn't a debater. That's why he agreed to debate him. Naik only agrees to face people who either have no debate experience or know nothing about Islam. Those of us who debate regularly and who deal with Islam regularly, Naik won't come near us. And we've been challenging him for years. Here's a debate challenge we sent him nearly 8 years ago. I've challenged him to debate. James White has challenged him to debate. Sam Shamoun has challenged him to debate. Nabil Qureshi has challenged him to debate. And do you know what he says when we challenge him to debate? He says, you have to guarantee that you will show up to the debate with 10,000 people. Now, that's a strange demand. If you look at Zakir Naik's other debates with Christians, they didn't have to bring 10,000 people to the debate. In the 2 Zakir Naik debates I've clicked on, there were only a couple hundred people in the audience. Why did Zakir Naik debate them? I was recently watching one of Naik's Q&A sessions, and a Christian woman was at the mic. And Zakir Naik said that if she wanted to debate, they could set up a debate.
Ask your question in 2 or 3 sentences. If it is more than 2 or 3 sentences, yes, it becomes a lecture. If you want to have a lecture,
yes,
so if you want to have a debate also, we can arrange.
Can you? Okay.
You can come to Bombay.
Right. No, it's not Bombay. I'm in the Gambia.
Why was Zakir Naik trying to set up a debate with a random woman who stepped up to a mic at a Q&A session? By the way, right after he challenged her to debate, he changed his mind and said that he refuses to debate women. Then he said that he would be happy to debate a religious scholar. But once again, Naik didn't say anything about bringing 10,000 people to the debate. Why does Zakir Naik's 10,000 people rule only come into play when he's challenged by people who debate regularly? If some local pastor no one's ever heard of agrees to face him, suddenly Naik is ready to debate, even if the pastor shows up with no one. This is the age of the internet. Millions of people can watch a debate online. Zakir Naik could have a debate with a Christian in a hotel room and people around the world could watch it. Why does he selectively apply his 10,000 people rule? Because he knows that in America, most Christians have no idea who he is, so they're not going to come out by the thousands to see him debate. He knows that Christian debaters aren't going to rent the Superdome to face him because we think he's a joke. So he made up a rule that he only applies to avoid actual debaters. Why? Because he's a complete, utter, total coward, and he knows that his arguments would be destroyed by any experienced Christian debater. And what do Muslims say when we point this out to them? Oh, Zakir Naik refuses to face you debaters because you're beneath him. Wait, all of the actual debaters are beneath him, but the people he's debated, most of whom no one's ever heard of, they were important enough for him to face? How would we know who's beneath Zakir Naik if he's never once stood on stage with an experienced debater? How would we know? Naik is like a guy who walks outside his house, punches someone in the face, and declares that he's the heavyweight boxing champion of the world without ever facing any actual boxers. It's pathetic. What's even more pathetic is that Naik's followers are so gullible they think he's a serious debater. There are serious debaters in the world. Naik isn't one of them. Second, Zakir Naik's ministry pays people to convert to Islam. The Hindustan Times reports The special branch of the Mumbai police claims that controversial Islamic preacher Zakir Naik and his non-profit Islamic Research Foundation have illegally converted around 800 people to Islam by paying them using funds received from abroad. The allegation, if proved, could spell more trouble for Naik, who is being investigated for his fiery speeches and alleged extremist links. Mumbai police found that Naik's organization paid converts 50,000 rupees, some of which came from Saudi Arabia. Members of the organization would then radicalize converts and convince them to join ISIS.